If you have somebody with borderline personality disorder in your life, then more than likely you understand what it is to argue. And I have definitely witnessed this where you can get in these unending cycles of arguments. And for one, I think that borderlines can have a heightened sensitivity, so they may misinterpret things a lot and interpret it as an insult or a slight when it's really not. Or they can kind of make up some things in their head and say things like, that's not what I said, that is not what I meant. And then you can say, but I didn't say that you said that or that you meant that. So then you go in this vicious cycle, and then before you know it, it's an argument. Sometimes they don't see themselves, so they can be insulting people and not understanding their part in it. Or they could be fearing abandonment with their favorite person, so they're being really mean to their favorite person. Or, you went to the store and instead of taking me to my favorite place, or you had to run an errand instead of being here with me. And there are just so many ways that you can get into trouble with somebody with borderline personality disorder without even trying to. So the title of this video is Stop Arguing with BPDs, because I've seen people interact with each other where one person is a borderline and they just keep it going. The borderline is not going to necessarily stop. Now, you could try some tactics to get them to stop if you're close enough to them. But you're going to have to be very persistent and insistent and be willing to get into some fights and arguments in order to get your point across. If they are very high functioning, they may start to understand that I can't do that. Like, let's say you give them gifts and they insult you for those gifts. Why would you give me that? Why would you know I don't like that? Or you, instead of just accepting the gift graciously, if you're close enough to them, you might tell them, hey, you know what? I would appreciate it if you accepted this gift graciously, because I spent my money and I spent my time, and the intention was to get you something that you would enjoy. So I would appreciate you showing me respect in this area. I'm not saying any of this to be mean. What I am saying is sometimes if we understand another person, then sometimes it helps if we can be the bigger person, or we can figure out strategies around not arguing with things that is the person is not meaning anything by it, and that if you argue with them, it could blow things out of proportion, and then now they're not going to speak to you for days or weeks. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to get upset about something when the other person may not change at all, to just go around it? You don't need that person's validation because they are viewing things through a different lens. So trying to argue with them and make them understand what you're saying or agree with you or validate you, do you really need that? Yes, it would be lovely. Yes, it would be nice. But that may not happen, and it's not worth getting frustrated. Sometimes the strategy can be to just kind of check out a little bit mentally, where you just kind of step out of the situation, let them have it, let them win it, and then move on. So understanding and managing interactions with someone who has borderline personality disorder can be challenging, but I want to give you some tips on how to stop arguing and insights into the frustrations that may arise. So here are a few tips. Number one, stay calm. Keep your emotions in check. If you feel yourself getting upset, try to remain composed. 2, listen actively. Show that you are listening and understanding their perspective. This can help de-escalate tension. 3, validate feelings. Acknowledge their feelings, even if you don't agree with their viewpoint. Validation can help them feel heard and reduce defensiveness. 4, use I statements. Frame your thoughts using I statements to express how you feel without placing blame, such as, I feel overwhelmed when. Number 5, set boundaries. Be clear about your limits and what behaviors are unacceptable. Stick to these boundaries consistently. 6, take breaks. If a conversation becomes too heated, suggest taking a break and revisiting the discussion later when both parties are calmer. 7, focus on solutions. Instead of dwelling on the problem, shift the conversation towards finding a resolution that works for both of you. 8, avoid triggers. Identify specific topics or behaviors that trigger arguments and try to avoid or address them sensitively. 9, practice empathy. Try to understand the underlying emotions driving their behavior. This can help foster compassion and reduce blame. 10, seek professional help. Consider family therapy or counseling to help navigate the relationship dynamics in a constructive way. So let's talk about causes of frustrations. Number 1, emotional intensity. Individuals with BPD often experience emotions more intensely, which can lead to misunderstandings and heightened conflicts. Number 2, fear of abandonment. Their strong fear of abandonment can lead to clinginess or impulsive behaviors that create tension. 3, black and white thinking or splitting. People with BPD may see situations in extremes, leading to sudden shifts in feelings toward others, which can be confusing. 4, impulsivity. Impulsive behaviors can create unpredictable situations, leading to frustration for both parties. 5, difficulty communicating. They may struggle to express their thoughts and feelings clearly, leading to miscommunications and arguments. 6, history of trauma. Past experiences can shape their reactions, making certain situations feel more threatening than they might to others. 7, coping mechanisms. Their ways of coping with stress may clash with your own, causing further conflict. So, managing interactions with someone who has BPD requires patience, understanding, and a willingness to adapt your communication style. Building a supportive environment can help reduce arguments and foster a healthier relationship. So, like I said in the beginning, it's not always worth it to engage in the argument or proving your point or right fighting. Sometimes just let it go. Be understanding, be ready, be more patient. So if you haven't joined my channel, today is a great day to do it. It only takes a push of a button, and I would love you to be part of my community and learn all about personality disorders. Also, I wrote a book called The Workplace NaRCISSiST, which is about a very high functioning narcissist, because people think, oh, they're low functioning. No, not necessarily. They can be most of us are going to work with narcissists, so you might as well try to understand them. So I wrote The Workplace NaRCISSiST. And if you need help with your love relationship, I've got lots of tips in my book, Flip the Script on Love, because we want to flip the script on it. We want it to be good, and a lot of people struggle with relationships these days, so we all need a different perspective. So I offer you that. And if you love studying Myers-Briggs like I do, I wrote From ENFJ with Love and a chapter on all 16 types, and I think it's fun to understand people's personalities. So check those out. I'm so happy you joined me today. I appreciate you so much. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Be sure to like this one. Bye.